Are crystals of salt really dry? Here is a test tube, and in this test tube we are going to put some copper sulfate, and we know copper sulfate is blue in color, and we start heating this copper sulfate. You will notice that the copper sulfate on heating will lose its color. It will lose its color, and little droplets of water will be seen along these edges, water droplets. So when copper sulfate is heated, the blue crystals lose their color. However, for this white color copper sulfate, if you add water back again, there's a water molecule, there's drops of water. If you add the water back again, then you notice that these now regain the color. The dry copper sulfate, which was white in color, now becomes blue again. So in this picture, we have the blue copper sulfate. On heating, it becomes, when we supply heat here, on heat, it becomes white in color. This blue copper sulfate is called hydrated copper sulfate. Hydrated copper sulfate means copper sulfate with water. In fact, it has copper sulfate and it has got these 5 molecules of water. And when you heat it up, it becomes anhydrous. This is anhydrous copper sulfate. Means copper sulfate without water. It loses this water of crystallization and becomes anhydrous copper sulfate. This 5 molecules attached to the copper is called water of crystallization, and it gives this color to the copper sulfate. Now here again, when I add water to this, if I add water to this area will turn blue. If I keep adding water, this entire anhydrous copper sulfate will slowly turn, I'm adding water to this, will slowly turn blue again. Look at this picture here. Here we have copper sulfate. It is not only copper sulfate, it's copper sulfate with 5 molecules of crystallization. And here in the other picture we had anhydrous copper sulfate. It is just copper sulfate only without water. But however, when you keep adding water to it, it back again, it turns into hydrated copper sulfate. This part will be CuSO4.5H2O, and it is blue in color. So so copper sulfate, blue copper sulfate, when it is heated, it becomes anhydrous copper sulfate. It's not only copper sulfate that has got this water crystallization. We have other substances, salts like FeSO4.7H2O. This also on heating gives us FeSO4. It loses its water of crystallization and just gives us FeSO4. So let me write it again. So FeSO4 7H2O on heating, when you heat it up, here it gives you FeSO4. So this is called hydrated FeSO4, and this is called anhydrous. Anhydrous means without water. Anhydrous FeSO4. This is green in color. This hydrated FeSO4 is green, and this has got a white or no color. It's like white in color. So when you heat FeSO4, green crystals of FeSO4, they turn white because they lose the water of crystallization. The 7 molecules which are there here, These are the water of crystallization here. This is called the water of crystallization. It loses its water of crystallization. Other salts like sodium carbonate, which we will learn is washing soda, has got 10 molecules of crystallization, and on heating it too loses the water and becomes anhydrous Na2CO3. So here this is its water of crystallization, this 10 molecules of H2O. We have yet another molecule which we'll learn more in detail, and that is called gypsum or CaSO4, and that too has water of crystallization. It is 2 molecules, and on heating it too loses its water of crystallization. So plus 2H2O. So here this is the water of its crystallization, 2 molecules. So just to summarize, we've learned a number of salts that have this water of crystallization. So remember here you got to write this 7H2O, they have written 10H2O. So there are a couple of compounds that have got water crystallization. We'll just summarize that now. We learned copper sulfate has got 5 molecules. Then we have FeSO4 that has 7 molecules of water attached to it. Then we learned sodium carbonate that has 10 molecules of water attached to it. And then last we learned gypsum or calcium sulfate, which has 2 molecules of water of crystallization attached to it. So what is water crystallization? Is a number of molecules or molecules that are attached to the salt. And many a times the color of the salt is due to this water of crystallization. If you heat that salt, it loses its color because the water of crystallization evaporates. It loses the water and hence loses its color. So to go back again, here we have seen in this that copper sulfate on heating turns white because it loses its water of crystallization. And in this case, ferrous sulfate, which is green, on heating turns white because it loses its water of crystallization.